Hello, friends. I'm Barb. I'm a social worker and people helper. And my series is to help people understand danger brain and safe brain. This is a psychoeducational series, it is not therapy. And if you are in need of a therapist, there are a lot of good options out there. So I encourage you to find them. Today, we're going to talk about emotional knowings. And I need to do this before I start a set of 4 videos on the components of danger brain, the different styles, the reactive styles, and the core styles that I talked about earlier. Emotional knowings are like implicit memories. They're held in the limbic system, in the hippocampus, and we'll talk about implicit memories first. So alligators see something small and they have the idea that that might be food and they might chase it. Alligators see something big and they might have the idea that that is dangerous and they get back in the water. We develop these constructs of implicit memories throughout our life. If we didn't, then everything would be dangerous. So we know what a chair is, a table is, curtains are, and if they're slightly different, we also know that that's possible and can incorporate that into our implicit memory. If we see something that is completely different than we ever saw before, we might be a little afraid of it. And if you've ever had pets like cats, when they haven't seen something before, you'll know what it's like to not have an implicit memory about an object. Well, similarly, with our memories, we develop implicit memories, or what's better termed emotional knowings, about people and interactions and situations. And so that may start at a very young age and develop through our lifetime. And the ones that are challenging for us tend to come up with danger brain. So sometimes when something is true and challenging, that's grief. And when something is a maybe or a false, like I'm a terrible parent, it's a maybe at the very least and probably a false. But my mind wants to call this up when I'm in danger brain. So emotional knowings can be about speaking up in front of coworkers. It can be about being competent or being strong or being nice. In cognitive behavioral therapy, those are also called schemas. And so emotional knowings are really important for us to understand in order to work with danger brain. Because again, if we're not feeling the sensations that our body is picking up on danger, then our mind will jump to challenging thoughts and intrusive thoughts. And they'll call upon our emotional knowings about people that are safe or unsafe. And so I'll give you an example of an emotional knowing. Let's say you were a child of a single parent like I was, and she came home every night tired after a long day of work. She worked really hard. She sometimes had 2 jobs, and the last thing she wanted to do was make dinner. And so she would come home and she would try to get it done, and in the process, she would be getting pans quickly and slamming them and moving about the kitchen and maybe even swearing under her breath or being angry in other ways. And so as a kid who's exposed to this, some kids will not develop this as their emotional knowing. They'll be perfectly fine. And other people will develop this emotional knowing like, ooh, noises in the kitchen can mean that I could be in danger. And so as the person grows up and is in a family of their own, whenever there are pots and pan noises in the kitchen, they might have that internal reaction of their emotional knowing. And if we're not aware of that emotional knowing, it can come out in frustration, irritability, anger, avoidance. Lots of different symptoms can come up in order for us to protect ourselves against that emotional knowing. So it's like our body remembers the feelings and the sensations of that moment or those moments and brings it to the present. So sometimes that's why our brain resists as well, because danger brain activates on an emotional knowing that the people around us have no idea that's what's happening. And they are confused when we get irritable or angry or lash out at them or avoid them. So that's the story of emotional knowings today. We will move forward onto picking apart danger brain next time. And I hope that you all lean into safe brain today. Find some way to breathe, move, focus, or ground. See you soon.